Welcome to this special edition of Clothes Free TV. Today, we're in Kissimmee, Florida, at the world headquarters of the American Association for Nude Recreation. We're going to go in and let you meet the staff. Nudes in the News starts right now. All right, we're inside the Anner office now. When you come right inside the front door, you see Eva. Eva answers the phone and greets everybody here. Do you have anything you'd like to say to all the viewers of Nudes in the News?
Good morning. Welcome to the Anner office.
All right, let's get started and meet the staff. Hey, wow, look at this. We know this guy. You've been on the show before. This is Steve Vickers. How you doing, Steve?
Not too bad. How are you?
Good. The first time we've been together on the show in clothes.
I know.
I guess that's the price you pay for working in a professional office.
It is, and I do have a window, so I can't really, get naked when I want to.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, hey, we know you from being on the show with clothesfree.com, but you work at Anner.
I do work at Anner, and I work here as a public relations assistant.
Public relations assistant. What does that mean? What does your average day consist of, Steve?
I reply to emails. I'll type up press releases. Maybe do a few interviews with clothesfree.com. Some other people.
Why do people want to do this?
Well, my friends have told me, and we've kind of discussed it.
You do it. You're a naked guy.
Yes, sir.
Why do you want to do it?
All right, we'll talk from personal experience. Me, I like to do it. I grew up in it, but it kind of harkens back to a time like maybe Norman Rockwell, where there were skinny dipping holes and stuff like that. You go to a lake and go with some friends and just kind of hang out.
You can do that now. But I mean, you say you grew up with it. Your parents were naked people too?
Yes, my parents and grandparents.
Wow. So you come from a long line of naked people.
Yes, I do.
Excellent. But for you, Steve, the fun of it is what?
I like to relax. I also enjoy the company of people there. There may be older people, but where you may see wrinkles, I'll see a guy who's fought in World War II who has plenty of stories to tell me and just has life experiences that I can appreciate.
And usually I'll write press releases. That usually takes up most of my day.
Yeah, now the viewers of clothesfree.com are a little different demographic than Anner. We tend to have younger people watching the show because they're doing it through the internet. And you're actually a young person, and you're here working at Anner. Does that mean maybe we should encourage more young people watching the show to actually buy that Anner membership?
I definitely think that you should. We do a lot of support with youth groups, and we work with them. And actually, we had a T-shirt design just for them. And I can show you the bag if you'd like later. We also had a youth get-together in Miami, and it went really well. So, we're doing a lot of youth-oriented stuff.
Great. Well, what a cool office, Steve. And how cool is this at your age? You're working for the American Association for Nude Recreation.
I enjoy it and living the dream.
Great. Thanks for being on the show, Steve. Have a great day. Well, if you remember, just a couple shows back, we were up at the Willamettans in Marcola, Oregon for the Anner Convention, and we ran into Eric Shutoff, and wouldn't you know it, he's at home now. Thanks for being on the show, Eric.
Thank you, Brian, and it's good to be back in Florida.
Yeah, well, this is your office. It's beautiful. Executive Director of the American Association for Nude Recreation. It's our privilege to be here, and we thank you very much for working with us. And what an operation you have. I've had a chance to get around and meet everyone today. You've got a wonderful staff.
We sure do, and we want to welcome you to Florida and the sunshine here. And this is where we serve the nearly 50,000 members of the association with their products and services and their memberships, and this is home.
Well, as you know, Eric, I'm a proud Anner member. And I'm not just an Anner member. I figure, being a newscaster on Nudes in the News, I got to do it right. I've got the premier membership card. But we're viewed by thousands of people every week, and many of them might be on the fence and wondering if they should become an Anner member or not. But now's your chance. Invite them into the family. What do you have to say to those folks?
Well, on two fronts. One is that if they join the association, they will qualify for a number of neat benefits that a member has. There are reductions of about 20% on their visits to clubs. They will receive reduced fees on things like renting cars and great discounts. They receive a monthly issue of the bulletin, and they have a chance to vote in the elections of the association. But I think the biggest and most important reason that if I would tell members is, when you join the association, you contribute to, Anner becomes your credible voice of reason for nude recreation. We advocate in state legislatures. We advocate in Washington, D.C. We will take to the United States Supreme Court, if necessary, the cases to defend nudist rights. We're also going to work heavily with the media, whether it's USA Today or whether it's Newsweek or television programming. We're going to be there on those levels as the credible voice for the association. So you are supporting that. It is becoming your advocacy association. Anna is there to speak for you even when you can't for nude recreation.
And that's a big job. And you've mentioned all these publications that we've been into and the Supreme Court and going to all these places. There's travel expenses, public relations expenses. This is not a cheap thing to do. And of course, we all know Anna is sponsored by a large sunscreen company, right?
We wish that were the case, but no, we're supported directly through membership. And you're right, as you tour the office, get a few shots of the Wall Street Journals and the USA Today, mainstream North America being educated that nudists are good folks, that they are good customers, and that nude recreation is the perfect choice for you, whether you're 6 months or 60. Somebody needs to get that out. And as you point out, Brian, it does. It takes money. It takes a lot of travel. It takes public relation firms. It takes lawyers, money. We don't need guns to do it, but we need everything else.
I don't know where we'd carry them. I mean, today, I guess, first time I've ever done the show with clothes on. I'm actually a little nervous about this today, but that hits the nail right on the head, is that it requires membership dues. And not to, step on anyone's toes with someone else's slogan, but viewers like you. So, anyway, thank you so much, Eric. I appreciate your time. Here we are again with the Executive Director of the American Association for Nude Recreation at his desk. He wouldn't let me sit in the chair. I just...
We'll let you.
No.
Welcome to Yosemite, Brian, and hope you enjoy your visit.
Thank you so much, Eric.
Sure.
We're now in the office with Carolyn Hawkins. Now, this is a name you've probably heard before because whenever you read those articles in Time Magazine, USA Today, Wall Street Journal, they always say, Anna spokeswoman Carolyn Hawkins said, "How you doing, Carolyn?"
Doing great, Brian. How about you?
Wonderful. Thanks for being on the show. So this is where all the magic happens.
This is where all the magic happens, right here in this little office.
Is there one thing that when you do all these interviews and talk to all these people, one specific message that you always like to convey that this is Anna?
Anner.com. Make sure they get the website out. Make sure you take sunscreen with you. Wear a hat, wear shoes. We always like to give protective information.
And of course, the whole sit on the towel and everything. And that's great. That's very straightforward information and gets them what they need to know to go have a nudist experience, or at least to tell the public more about who we are.
Absolutely. And that's what it's all about, keeping the public apprised of what's happening.
Great. Well, I thank you for your time, and your coworkers here have just been marvelous today, getting to know the Anner staff, getting around the office, and hopefully everybody at home gets to see what a friendly bunch of people we have here in Kissimmee fighting for our nudist rights.
I hope so, and we're always glad to see you and hear from you, Brian.
I'm here behind the desk with Terry, and Terry is Anner's club liaison. And I'd imagine, Terry, you have a rough job, because at last count, doesn't Anner represent over 200 clubs?
Yes, we do. We have approximately 250.
Wow, and those clubs are all over the U.S. and Canada.
All over U.S. and Canada. They're divided into 7 regions.
And so, club liaison is your title. What exactly does a club liaison do?
Well, we help start up clubs. We help close down clubs, unfortunately. We deal a lot with the members' problems. Oftentimes we'll have problems with a divorced couple. Maybe one doesn't want the children to go to a resort anymore, and then becomes a great big problem. So I help deal with people like that too, and any other legal problems that we should have throughout the company.
Okay, so basically, anytime a club owner has any type of issue and they call Anner looking for help, you talk to the club owners, and you're the liaison then between
Right.
Anner and the clubs, which...
Find the powers that be that could fix it.
What a job. All right. Well, and the good news is if you want to start a club, right? So if any of you out there are in a part of the country that doesn't have a club and wants to get your friends together, start doing nude house parties or anything like that, and wanted to become Anner affiliated, you'd call up the Anner office and talk to Terry.
And ask for club liaison, and we would get you started.
Great.
You know, we nudists are good people.
You know what? Absolutely. And I have never met a finer group of people than the people I've met in all of my travels to nudist resorts all across the country.
Oh, really? Genuine people, lovely
Yes.
people.
Great. Well, thanks for being on the show, Terry. I appreciate your time very much.
Very welcome. Thanks for having me.
Keep up the good work. Thank you for joining us for this special edition of Clothes Free TV. Until next time, have fun and Get naked.